SCNG.
So now, very good morning to all of you. So our expert has joined already. Dr. Ashish joined. So yesterday we have seen in the day 3 we have covered the 3 sessions on near bed particle motion. We have seen flow behavior in scouring around the pier. Okay. And we have seen measurement and quantification of flow turbulence in mobile bed channel by Dr. P.L. Patel sir. So we have covered half of the FDP with the basics of turbulence characteristics, flow measurement, what are the latest instruments that we have like ADV of Sontec and Nortec, and then we have seen how we can done coordinate analysis, what are the different statistics that we should know for the quantification of and characterization of sediment data or turbulence data. So this is the 4th day of this 5-day AICT training and Atal Academy FDP titled Flow Characteristics and Turbulent Statistics in Alluvial Channel. So now we are going to start today's very first session on vector analysis of flow pattern during scour around pier by Dr. Ashish Kumar sir, professor in Department of Civil Engineering, JP University of IT, Vaknaghat, District Solan, Himachal Pradesh.
Okay,
so now I am inviting respected sir to deliver his expert talk.
Okay, thanks, Professor Dikshit, and I am again thankful to the AICT and Department of Civil Engineering and the LD College of Engineering Ahmedabad for providing me opportunity to deliver the talk on topic which is related to, and as this is the title of the FDP is the flow characteristics and the turbulent statistics in the alluvial channels. So today we will be discussing about the vector analysis. Is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible.
It is true.
Okay. So in the day 3, we discuss about the flow behavior in scour around the piers, and we also
It is not
discuss.
full screen.
Oh, it is not
Full
full
screen.
screen. Yeah. Should I go with full screen?
Okay.
Okay. Just wait. Just then again I have to go. Just wait. Now it is full screen.
Yes, sir.
So please tell me if at any point it is not
Yes, sir.
scroll down. Okay. So in the day 3 we discussed about the flow behavior in Scala around the peers, and we also discussed some details about what is the type of Scala and on the different factors upon which the Scala depend. Now, today's lecture topic is the vector analysis of the flow pattern during the Scala round period. So, what we discussed in the previous lecture, so we will go briefly with some slides. So, this is the figure of a bridge pier which is taken at Roorkee at Ganga Canal, and that is showing a circular pier. So as I told you previously also in my previous note that in the Indian subcontinent it is a general practice to provide the circular pier foundation. Now pier, as per basic definition what we have, so pier is an important structure on which our deck of bridge rest, and it plays an important role in the stability and the safety. So as such, you know that bridge constitute an important part of transportation system, and in that sense they are required when you have to move from one part to another part, and when there is a requirement to cross the waterways in that sense. So we all know that a main cause of bridge failure in Scour is the flow around its pier and the abutment, and as the water move around the bridge piers, then what happens that there is a complex three-dimensional flow phenomena and due to that we experience the scour around the bridge pier, and we all know that this accurate estimation of scour depth at bridge site is a major concern for all the hydraulic engineers or also the civil engineers also who are in construction industry. So if we there are number of formulas, there are number of equations available, and in the past 60 years uh, we have seen development in the field of computations of the scour depth around the piers with the different geometries, and as such we are having a number of equations for the calculation of the scour depth. So we have we have made a considerable progress in understanding the phenomena of the local scour at bridge piers and various different parameters and that is affecting or that is affecting the local scour. So now there is a requirement to calculate the accurate estimation, or there is a requirement to calculate the correct scour depth. If we do the underestimation of the scour depth, then it results the shallow foundations, and thus what we have a chance to exposure of our foundation, and it is and obviously it may be dangerous for the safety of the bridge. Whereas if we go with the overestimations, again we will lead to a uneconomical design. So basically we need a optimized value. So coming to the next slide, so we will go fast with this because we have to do the vector analysis work in this, and we have to see how we have done this. So all of you know that scouring is what? Scouring is the local lowering of the stream bed elevation which takes place in the vicinity or around a structure constructed in the flowing water. So that is basically result of development of the high shear stress, and due to that what happens, a three-dimensional flow separation takes place and also there is a due to that there is a high level of turbulence and vorticity around the piers. So today we will do the vector analysis on the basis of what data we have captured in the laboratory. So That is what we are finding, clearing it. So now next is a study related to the local scar around the circular bridge pier. So now we all know that a lot of and a considerable work has been done over the past 60 years in the field of bridge engineering, particularly with Scour around the bridge piers, and we have numerous studies with us, and in which it has been tried to develop the relationship for estimation of the Scour depth around the uniform shaped pier. Typically, when we deal, so maximum equations are available for the uniform pier, okay, having the diameter b. So these are, if you start, that is started from Larson and Torch, who has been the pioneer to work in the field of bridge engineering. So then going to Shen et al., Brisser, Jan, Malvin and Sutherland, and if we go with the last, this is Sefford et al., then Kotiari et al. So now there are a number of investors, investigators who have done a commendable job in order to identify the, or in order to solve the problem which is related to the local scour phenomena around the bridge piers. So that we had also discussed in the previous lecture. So now I'm not going to discuss. So these are the scour depth equations categorized in the type 1, type 2, and type 3. Okay, and now in India, what we have the Laces method, which is generally used as per the IRC recommendations. And if we talk about the USA, then what we discussed, we have the hydraulic engineering circular number 18, that is evaluating scour at bridges, that is 5th edition. And that is adopted by US Department of Transportation, okay, Federal Highway Administration. So now we will talk about the significance of the temporal variation of the scour depth. When we talk about the temporal scour evaluation, means that all you know that the the scour depth is a function of the time. So at the start, what happens? So if we create a chart with respect to depth of scour and the time around the pier, then what happened in the initial phase when water is start working around the bridge pier, then what happened at the start, the scour depth is 0, but due to this force of the water, the momentum of the water, what happens, the material around the scour hole start to erode, and this phase of erosion or the local scour or erosion of the bad material at the start of the point is fast, and as the time elapses, the scour process slow down. So at the start, the scour depth increases very rapidly, and at the time elapses, the scour depth goes down. So this is the variation of the scour depth with the time. So at the start, we may see that within first 3 or 4 hours, we may receive more than 40 to 50% of the scour depth or of the equilibrium scour depth. So this is basically function of the scour depth with the time. So significance of this temporal variation evaluation rather than the equilibrium scour depth has been emphasized by various researchers in the past, and probably Kotiari et al. Were the first to demonstrate that temporal development of scour rather than equilibrium scour of the peak flood constitute the relevant design peak. The modern trend in scour is investigation. Modern trend in scour investigation is therefore to study the temporal variation of scour rather than the equilibrium. Why? Because The equilibrium scour occurs after a long period of time. However, the flood discharge of the river is not expected to last for a long time. So all you know that when flood discharge occurs, it has a peak, but it does not long for a long time. While the for the equilibrium scour depth, what we need a long time to do the experimentation. So what we here prefer, we here prefer to go with the temporal variation of the scour depth. And in the coming slides, we will also see that how we have make use of these vector analysis to verify some of the mathematical equations and further to develop the relationship for the scour depth, in terms of the equilibrium scour depth by taking consideration of the temporal variation. So this is these are the list of the few investigators who have worked for the temporal variation around the uniform piers. While some of the investigators have also studied the effect of foundation geometry on the scour, and these are the list here. So you can go through these research paper if you're interested to work in this area. And now coming to the flow fill around the bridge piers. So all we know that in the previous lecture, we also discussed the flow fill around the bridge piers. We find out the velocity components. We discussed the turbulent characteristics and basically the flow structure. So the flow pattern within the scour hole around the circular uniform bridge pier has been studied by various investigators. And a lot of findings are available in the research paper. So now here what we are going to do, to discuss the flow pattern and flow field measured around the circular piers. So a detailed understanding of flow field is required in order to understand how this affect the scour depth around the bridge pier. So in that a number of studies has been conducted in the past, and still research is going on. Some computational fluid, some studies are also has been made on simulation of this flow pattern. So, but a very little or fewer study has been done on the flow structures around the compound bridge piers. So here today we will be discussing the flow structures around the compound bridge piers and circular uniform bridge piers. So this is the figure. You can see that this is the bridge on River Ganga, which is having the circular compound bridge piers. So here you can see that here in this case, this is the foundation. You can see this is the foundation circular. The top of the footing is exposed in the main channel. Okay, and here you can see this is the uniform circular pier only, and footing is not exposed. So here we will be discussing today when footing is exposed, how our scour depth is going to change and how our flow pattern phenomena is going to change in all the three conditions: when footing is below, and when footing is just at the bed level, and when footing is above the bed level. So this is above the bed level. Okay, so here you can see that value of y is negative. So this is the experimental flume in which we carried out the experiments, and this is the flume at Department of Civil Engineering, IIT Roorkee, where the experiments were conducted. This is 1 meter wide, and this is again the same. And this is the definition sketch diagram for the circular compound bridge pier. And here you can see that this H is the depth of flow. This is the initial bed level. So before the scour occur, this may be the condition. Okay, and this is the depth of scour at any time t. So sometimes we also write it as dst when we define it in terms of variation with time. Okay, so this is the y, which is taken with respect to the initial bed level, and it is considered positive if it is below the bed level, and it will be negative if it is above the bed level. Okay, so now coming to this is the developed discover hole around the uniform pier. And as I told you yesterday also, after the development of the discover hole, the entire section was drained, and then it was made hard by spraying the light solution of cement. Okay, so we sprayed the light solution of cement over the entire area. So this is our working section here. Okay, and here you can see this is the extent of the discover hole. Water direction is here. Now all of you know that this is the acoustic Doppler velocity meter and that was used to get the or capture the data as we discussed in the previous
Excuse
lecture.
sir.
Okay, yes.
Sir,
Yes.
how did you do the scaling of the dimension of the pier or the flow
Basically, what
discharge?
happens that when we are working with the flume experiments, then we should define that this pier which we are keeping for the experiment, that should not affect that should not allow the contraction square. So normally for that, what we do that this is defined on the basis of what width we have and what we are having. So I will provide you the value at this time. This I don't remember this, but I will later tell you after this discussion. So the ratio, this width B is capped in such a way that it does not allow the contraction scour. We are only dealing in this case with the scour hole, with the local scour.
Sir.
Yes.
Hello. Sir,
Hello.
in reality, there are a number of piers on a bridge, right?
Yes.
So there will be same amount of core hole in all the piers, or will it be that it will be maximum in the first and the last pier? And what will be the scenario in real case?
Basically, in the field condition, what is happening, because in the field conditional we are having the two main sections. One is the main channel and another is the floodplain. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
the cross section is not same across the width of the river.
Yes.
Okay, so some section may be here like the flood channel. So if this is the depth of the river, okay, so here in the flood section depth may be H1, here depth may be H2. Okay, so at different section
Yes,
you
sir.
will having the different depth. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here the velocity distribution has been taken as we discussed in the previous lecture, and that was the basic measurement stations around the pier. And here all dimensions are taken in the millimeters. So here, as I discussed you in the previous lecture, we have taken the 7 planes here, and with the angle difference of 30 degree in each. So varying from 0 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree. And in each radial plane, we have taken the vertical distribution of the velocity. Okay, and related. So here you can see that we have taken measurements at all these node points varying from 100 millimeter, 140, 170, 200. And this cover some extent of the scour hole, okay, and some bed level, okay, so that we can find out. Here also you can see that at a particular point P, when we take the measurement of the velocity, okay, at any vertical point, so then what we are getting the 3 component U, V, and W. So U component is in the longitudinal direction, V component is in the transverse direction, and W component is in the vertical plane. So here this is the distribution which has been taken here, velocity distribution and measurements. So we varied the longitudinal distance and as well as at the same time vertical displacement. And this is already in the previous lecture. Now study related to the vector analysis and the its application further in order to verify some of the equations and finally to get the flow chart or algorithm for temporal variation of the scour around the circular bridge pair. So here what we can see, so these are basically the just wait, one of my slide is missing. Just wait, okay. Just wait for a while. Okay. This, just wait. Okay, so now we are going to study related to the vector analysis. So here so here what we have done, basically we have take measurement at a particular point. If we see, and this is the plane alpha is equal to 0, for example, and this is the plane alpha is equal to 30 degree. And at this plane, if we take consideration of this plane 30 degree, so at this vertical plane, we have take the measurement of the velocity at different point varying from the center as 10 centimeter, then 14 centimeter, then 17, then 20, 25, 30, and 40. So at each vertical plane, if you can see, if we draw the plane here, so for the 30 degree plane, what we may have, so if this is the pair, so at this plane, if this is, so this may be the 30 degree plane. So at this 30 degree plane, so just wait. I'm entering some new slides. Okay, so that is what we are having. This is the uniform pair we have placed in the flume, and this is plane alpha is equal to 0 degree. Now suppose we are taking this plane which is at 30 degree. Okay, and at this we have taken the different at this radial plane or vertical plane. This is the point where we have taken the vertical measurements at a distance of 10, 14, and diameter here is this is the diameter, that is 11.4 centimeter of the pier. Okay, so here what we have done, so if we see this 30 degree plane, then what we may observe, if this is the pier and this is the depth of flow h, so at this 30-degree plane, what we are having? We are having the different distance from the center of the pier. So this is center of the pier. So here one plane will be at a distance of 10 centimeter, then other will be at 14, then 17, and so on. And in all these vertical plane, what we have done, so we have, this is at a distance of 10 centimeters. So vertical distribution of velocity has and other parameters has been taken. Just close to the bed, the minimum distance was 4 mm as per the limitation of the acoustic Doppler velocity meter, because we cannot read just before or less than 4 mm, and after that we have taken at a interval of 1 centimeter. So at all these points we have taken the data, and this has been done for all the. So in this way, what we have done, we have taken all the velocity measurements. Okay, so this may be 17, then this is at 20, 25, 30, then 35 and 40. Okay, so this is covering some part of the all the area of this cover hole and some extent of the plane bed. Okay, where there is no effect of this cover hole. So that is what is the strategy. Now what we have done here, so now this coordinates at each point, what we have measured at each point, we have three component of the velocity. One is u, another is v in the transverse direction, and another is the w component, which is in the perpendicular direction. Okay, so these three component of velocity has been used to create the vector plot. And how we have created that vector plot, you can see here, if this is the angle alpha, if you consider, then this angle will be same as alpha, and this angle will be what? 90 minus alpha. Okay, so now we have converted this Cartesian coordinate into the cylindrical coordinates, and now what we have now two velocity component here. One is ur and another is v alpha. Okay, now we have tried to create or find out this ur and v alpha. So this ur and v alpha has been converted with the help of the coordinates. So what we are here having, so we have used this ur. Just wait. So now if you want to calculate the value of ur in terms of u and v component, then what will be the value if you go with this? Then ur will be is equal to, that is u. So you may write u cos alpha. Then this is the v component. So this will be the v. What will be it? What will be it? This will be, this direction will be what? In terms of v cos 90 minus
V
alpha.
cos.
Okay, and this is the opposite direction, so that will be taken as negative sign, and this will be v cos 90 minus alpha. So ultimately what you get u cos alpha minus v sin alpha, and similarly you can get v alpha. This is the v alpha, and this will be is equal to u sin alpha plus v cos alpha. So this is how we have done and how we have converted our coordinates into the cylindrical coordinates for the point of view to plot. So here what we are getting, so basically this is the general condition here, ur, v alpha and w alpha, and this is converted here as like this, cos alpha minus sin alpha, then sin alpha cos alpha. Okay, and this is what we have, u, v and w. Okay, so if you are working with all the angles, so suppose this is your pier, and this is the 0 degree plane alpha. Then you have 30, 60, 90, 120, 150 and 180. Okay, so this is downstream. So at all the planes, what we have done, we have made the vector diagram. Okay, so now at all the planes, what will happen here if you work with the direction of UR and U alpha? Okay, so if you are working with the direction UR and U alpha for each of the plane, so now the direction will change here at this at the 0 degree. What you are having this at, so for each plane you can compute the value of UR, U alpha and UW. Okay, with the help of this. So you know that this is the UR. So when you are calculating this with the help of this angle variation, this is 60, then 90, then 120, and this is 150. So what you are getting here at 0 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, 90, 120, 150 and 180. So value of UR and U alpha, if we talk in terms of directions, so all you know that the direction is taken as positive here as UR. Okay, and this is what we are having U alpha. So here again, if you talk with this plane 90 degree, then what we see that this direction will be considered as UR and this will be U alpha. Okay, so now if we see that this value will be positive here, this will be positive, this again positive. For the 60 degree, again you will get the positive. For the 90 degree, what will happen if you put the value alpha is equal to 90 degree? Then you will be getting as minus V. Okay, this UR will be equal to minus V, because in this what we are having the two component of the velocity. One is here U and this is as V. So this UR will be equal to minus V, and this U alpha will be equal to this component U totally. Okay, so here if you are working with this, then you must realize that how you are getting the positive or negative values. Okay, so this will again positive and positive. So by inserting the angles, so here also you will see the effect of this when we are working with the vectors in the vertical plane. So when you are working with any plane, okay, suppose this is the plane, or suppose this is the plane which is at alpha is equal to 30 degree. Okay, so here what we are having here, we are having the two components of the velocity basically. Okay, so what is the first component is what? First component is this UR. Okay, so direction of UR.
Morning, sir.
So this is what we have UR, and the component of the W component, that is W. Now this W component and this sorry, this is not U alpha, this is UR component in the radial direction. So this R may be for 30, if you are working with 30 degree, then we are working with this 30 degree plane. If you are working with 0 degree plane, then this will be the 0 degree plane. Okay, so now the W value component here. Now if you are working with the acoustic Doppler velocity meter, then what happen if W you are getting with your ADV is negative, then what we consider the direction in the downward, and if W is positive, then the W component, the vertical component is having the upward direction. Okay, so here what we have, so now that is the criteria which we have used. So this is the vertical plane, Cartesian plane and cylindrical coordinates which we have discussed here. So what we are having, this is the flow direction, this is the plane alpha if you want to see, and here what we have done, this is alpha and this is UR and U alpha. So and this is the Cartesian component, this is the y with v, and this is w with z. So here what we are having, so this z, if it is in the upward direction, that is considered as positive, this w component. Okay, so now these are the plots which has been drawn in sigma plot. And if you see that what parameters, what is the input in the sigma plot. So input you may see here. So if you talk about the inputs, if you want to draw the vectors here like this, so just wait here. So this is the pier geometry, and this is the flow depth, this is the h. Okay, so if you take at any section, for example, close to the 10 centimeter, okay, at, for example, this is alpha is equal to 0 degree. So now at each point, so what you have taken, you have taken velocity component u, v, and w. Now close to the pier, what will be, what we have observed with the data, we have observed with the data that w component is having high magnitude while v is diminishing, and v is almost negligibly 0 close to the pier. So here what we have, so if you want to create a vector plot for all these points, all these node points, so what is the requirement here? This is the direction x. Okay, so you need the coordinate of these points. Okay, so what we have done here, if this is the center point, so here we have taken x is equal to negative if you are moving here, and the position if you are working here, so coordinates यहाँ पे कैसे निकाल सकते हैं? So the coordinates, if you want to see, this is the z plane, okay, and this is in the upward direction. So you need the coordinates of this point, okay, first, okay, x and z coordinate. Then what you need the angle of the vector, okay, so you need angle of vector, and fourth quantity is what? Magnitude of vector. So these four data are required if you want to create the vector plot. So now we will see a Excel sheet. Before going to Excel sheet, let me discuss one more thing. If you want to do work with the sigma plot, so sometime we have to make some modifications in their program also. During my work with sigma plot, I go with the program which was for the plotting of vectors, and I made some modifications in that as per my requirement. Okay, regarding the, just wait, regarding if this is the vector, then what should be the angle of this arrow and what should be the magnitude. Okay, now what you need, if this is the plane, then you need what you need this angle theta. So what we are discussing, angle of vector, you need magnitude, maybe L, and you need coordinate of this point. Okay, so that is x into z. So all these four parameters are required at each and every point in the flow domain. So this all data is feed into the software. Then we get. Okay, now just wait, I am entering one more slide. Okay, the slide is moving or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now working with this plotting, which is related to the U component and the W component. Basically, if you are if you want to plot, which I have shown you now. then we have basically 4 different part. So if this is the direction of flow u, then we have basically 4 condition here during the flow domain in the vertical plane. One may direction and u may be with the w component in the downward direction. Okay, so this is the first condition. I just create a sketch so that you get more understanding. Okay, so that is the ds. So now at any point in the flow domain, okay, suppose this is the point on the vertical plane. If I talk about this, so it may have this u component or it may have this component w, as I told you here. Okay, so now if you want to find out what is the magnitude and what is the angle, then what you have to do, but this is I am talking with reference to sigma plot, but if there is any other software which is creating the vector plotting, the working methodology may be different, but this is what I am talking about, the sigma plot. Now first we talk about this value is positive here, what we are getting with ADV, and this is negative value. If W is, we are getting negative value, then W is in the downward direction. Okay, so movement of the flow is now, this is what we have. This is the mean. Okay, so this magnitude, or you calculate simply by u square plus w square. Now we talk about the angle. This angle is theta, and that is taken with respect to this horizontal line. Okay, horizontal plane. So this tan theta will be simply is equal to minus w by u. Okay, now what is happening here, when we are putting the data into the Excel sheet, then what happened, it record the angle with respect to this plane, okay, and in the anti-clockwise direction like this. So this angle is basically feed into the sigma plot as angle of the vector. Okay, so now this has to be converted. So what we do here, this angle will be now obviously 360 minus theta degree. Okay, this is the first case. If you go with second case maybe your angle u may be negative while this w may be positive. Okay, now what will happen here? In this case, this will be your angle theta. Okay, this will be angle theta. Magnitude will be the same. You can calculate. Now what will be the tan theta here? Tan theta will be here, w by minus u. And now the angle which has to be feed, that will be in the anti-clockwise direction. So this will be this angle. So this will be basically 180 minus theta into pi by 180. Okay, here also you can write in terms of pi by 180. Okay, so this will be changed into the radians. Okay, so this is what we are changing in radians. Similarly, there may be the case 3. In case 3, what you may observe, this may be the component. Just wait. This is again u is negative. In this case, this is angle theta. Okay. Now, if we talk about this angle measurement, so this will be the angle. Okay. So what will be the angle feed? Angle feed will be 180 plus theta into pi by 180 degree. And if we go with the fourth case, in the fourth case, what we'll be having? We will be having this u positive and this ws positive, negative. Okay, again, this will be the angle. So tan theta will be what? Minus W by U. And if it is okay, or I am repeating something. Oh, this is the case first, what we have written. So we have left with, just wait. So we have covered this W positive, U negative. We have covered this. So we are left with this case. W is positive. Just wait. So that is U positive. Okay, so in this case, what we have both the positive. So this will be the angle theta, and in this case, this is the angle. Okay, so this will be simply theta by 180 into pi. Now we will see Excel sheet here, how we have fed the data. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir. It is
Yes,
visible.
sir. Yeah, sir.
Okay, so here what we have done, so this is basically taken at uniform pair at angle 0. Okay, so now this is the data which we have feed here. So first column, you can see that this is the depth. Okay, so what is this here? This is the depth, and this is just I'm entering here, insert. So this is basically at a distance of 10. Here you can see that. Just wait here. That you will be taking the so this is the 10 centimeter. Okay, so as we are working with so here what is this, you can see this is the center, and this is alpha is equal to 0 plane. This is the direction of flow. So this is the first plane. Okay, so this is at a distance of 10 centimeter. So this is the x direction, which is minus 10. Okay, now the second is what? Second is this y. Okay, so basically this is the depth. And you can see here that this is minus 12, minus 11, minus 10, minus 9. Okay, and then ultimately you're getting 0. So this 0 is basically what? The depth of water was here 16 centimeter. Okay, so what is this here? So this is the close as minus 12. So at this level, this is y is equal to 0, which is feed here. Okay, so this is starting from minus 12, then minus 11, reaching to the 0. Then if you go to the up, that is going as depth of water was 16 centimeter. So this is taken just as 15.8. So this is the data which has been captured. So that is what we are having, minus 12 to 15.8. This is only for one vertical distance. Okay, now these are the two data points. This is what we are having, the UR. Okay, the calculation of UR is same as we have done, as I have shown you. So you make calculation of UR. Okay, so this is what we are having. Slides are moving?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just UR. Okay, so this is what we have UR. This is UR. Okay, this is UR. So calculation has been done as per this. Okay, so this is the calculation. You can see here some values are negative. That means there is a reversal of flow opposite to the direction here. So if you see this as minus 12 first data,
Excuse me, sir.
yes,
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, in this Excel sheet, there are two depths. The record for depth, there are two columns, A, B, and C.
So why is this? Just you have explained. What is the record in column C?
Yes,
This
yes,
is
yes.
also depth.
Yes, 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 yes. I will explain you. I will explain you. Because just wait for a
Okay.
while. Just can you hold it? I have a call. Just wait.
Okay.
Okay, so we have here two columns here. One is y and one is depth. So this is basically fed into the vector, but this is the original record. Now this is, you can see that this is starting from here. Correct. Just, okay, so now just see here. What is basically doing here? What we are basically, when we are going with the experiments. So what we have do basically in the experiment, we just have acoustic Doppler velocity meter. Then what happens? You have acoustic Doppler velocity meter, and it will be, when you are inserting the acoustic Doppler velocity meter, it has like this. Okay, that may be having the stamp. So that is capturing the data at a distance of 5 centimeter. So minimum you can go with the band as 4 mm, as I told you. Okay, so now when you first capture the data, so that distance from the bed will be 4 mm. Okay, then what we have tried to do, then we again move our ADV in the upward direction and try to maintain the distance. And the next reading we have taken from the bed at a distance of 1 centimeter, then 2 centimeter. So this is the same thing here. 0.4 with the bed, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we go up to total depth of water. Here what you observe, total depth of water is including scour depth, that is 28 meter. Then we resolve it and convert it. So what we have done here, you can see here. So this is what at the top we have. So this is what, if you working from this distance, that is, so this distance as per this data, so this distance from this distance, from this ground, this total distance is 28.1 centimeter. Okay, so then we have divided this 28.1 data into two system. One is above the bed level, okay, initial bed level, and one is below the initial bed level. Okay, so that is what we have done. Got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now coming to the next slides here. So now you can see that what we have here. So this is the two component here now, URW and W. Okay, so obviously this is at any particular point you are having. At any particular point, suppose in the flow this, you are having UR and this may be the W. So accordingly you are getting your vector, magnitude of the vector. So in the second, what we have done, we have calculated this mean velocity, which is nothing but this is the magnitude. And if you see that this magnitude is what? Okay, so this is what? This is the square root of these two. Okay. Now this is next is the computation of the angle. Here you can see that. So here angle is made, as I told you, that this is W by U. So you're getting, sometimes you're getting negative value. So this is as per the data of this. Okay, so this is nothing but this is the W by U. Then next is what we have done. So this is now calculations of the angle in the theta. This is calculation of the angle in theta. So this is 90 degree, 2.6 degree. Okay, then this is the absolute angle and this is the final angle into the radians. As per the same, we have we make you understandable in this. What we have, just I had told you this. As per this, okay, so final calculation is as per this, and if you see here, so this is the calculation, and in which you can see that sometimes we have done 180 minus J6, and what is J6? This absolute angle. Sometimes if you see this is positive, this is negative, then you can see this is 360 minus J11. If you can see here, so this is the way we have making the angles. Now these is the four. This is what we have in millimeter. So this is X coordinate, Y coordinate, this is angle, and this is the magnitude. So these four data is fed into the sigma plot in order to get the plots. Okay. So now this is only for a point at a distance minus 10. Okay. Similarly, we have feed at a distance of 14 centimeter. Then we go with the 17 centimeter, and then 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40. So in this way, we have feed all the data. Okay. Now coming to the slide back. So here, these are the experimental results.
પેપર પતી જાય પછી નહીં કઈ ખબર ખ્યાલ નહીં લાગે એવું એકવાર ખરાબ એક્ઝામ ગઈ તો પતી જ ગયું આપણે જો દોડવામાં 1 સેકન્ડ હાર રહી ગયું તો રહી ગયું
Please mute your mic. Who is speaking? Please mute your mic.
બધું હરખું છે નહીં
Please mute your mic. My coordinator are requested to kindly convey the message. Okay, so now coming to this vector plot. So here you can see that this is the Excel sheet which I have shown you. This is for only one plane alpha is equal to 0 degree, and this here you can see this is the section here, and normally this is the pier if you completely see. Okay, so this is here negative values here put. So this is alpha is equal to 0. So here you can see that if you no, it is not. So here you can see that direction of the vectors. So close to the pier, what is happening here? There is a downward motion here, but here close to the bed there is a upward motion. So here you can observe the upward motion. So this is what we are having here. So this is showing that the vortexes created at the plane of alpha is equal to 0 degree. When you go with this plane alpha is equal to 30 degree, again you are experiencing the same, and flow is approaching towards the pier. Again at the 60 degree, we are again experiencing this vortex phenomena, while we are at plane alpha is equal to 90 degree. Okay, so here what we are observing, the vortex formation is little bit less, and we are observing the downward flow at the 90 degree plane. Now this is for the 120 degree plane, 150 degree and 180 degree plane. So what is the observation here? Here flow is away from the pier. When you are, if this is the direction of flow, alpha is equal to 0 degree and this is 90. So at the 120 degree, what is the observation here? The flow is here like this, and same is observed with the vector plots. Okay, at 1 degree plane also we are observing the same here. Magnitude of the velocity close to the pier is less. This is just here behind the pier. Okay, at this location is this. Now if you see this alpha is equal to 180 degree plane. So this is the alpha is equal to 1 degree plane, and this is the what the observations at this 100 millimeter just behind the pier, and there is an upward motion. Here you can see as you go away, the flow now becomes normal from the pier. So this is the observations of the velocity field, and that has been created. Now these are the horizontal projections. Okay, so this is the measured horizontal velocity vectors. So here, if we talk about the horizontal planes, so here what we are having. So here you can see that this is the data for the uniform pier, okay, only. And this is what we have, Z is equal to minus 50 mm. That means this is within the scour hole. This is at the initial bed level. This is above the bed level, and this is around at Z is equal to 150 mm. And vector plotting is in the XY plane, means so it is also obvious. So this is the inside or within the scour hole. So here you can see what is the pattern and how flow is deviating here. So if you see, this is the direction of flow. Then what we are observing within the scour hole, this pattern was observed. And if we move up to the bed level here, so okay, so this is the plane. If this is the Z is equal to 0, that may be Z is equal to minus 5 centimeter. Okay, now this may be Z is equal to 100, and if you go above that plane at a different distances. So these are the horizontal. So at all we have tried to take the profile of the vectors. So how flow is behaving, how flow is moving due to this, due to its interaction with the pier and also in the scour hole. Okay, now this is the next projections of compound pier. We have defined this compound pier. So what is here we are having, if you see in the flow, so what we are having this compound pier which is having the footing, and this is the top of the footing. So in case of non-uniform pier scour hole, this is one. So what is here, the top of the footing is in such a way that it is coinciding with the initial bed level. So now this is what we are having. Our capital Y is 0. So top of the footing is matching with this, and this is the scour hole area. Now, while taking the measurements, so first reading was taken at a distance of 10 centimeter. You can see here, this is at a distance of 10 centimeter. Okay, now this is, if we consider this is the pier and this is the foundation. Okay, so first reading is at this, and here you can see that the vectors are in the horizontal directions, while there is where the scour hole is developing, there is a creation of the vortex which is visible from this, some downward movement of the flow. Now this is in the plane of 30 degree again with this 60 degree, and if you see here at 90 degree the flow is away from the pier and magnitude of the velocity is also less. Similar observations you can see at plane 120, 150 and 180. So here what we are observing, flow is going away. Here magnitude of the velocity vector is more. But if you go with this 180 degree plane which is just behind or downstream of the pier, we have observed the upward motion of the flow here also. Okay, so this is what we are having. So similarly, the horizontal projections at this non-uniform pier when our Y footing is at initial bed level. So here we also observe the vectors at different vertical planes. Okay, so this is what now this is non-uniform pier 2. That is what our top of the footing. So here you can see that this is the top of the footing and this is above the bed level. Okay, so this is above the bed level, and in such case also we are observing this pattern at this 30-degree plane. Okay, so that is also for the same at 180-degree plane. So in all, 4 experiments were conducted in order to get the vector profiles. And what was the 4 experiments? 1 experiment was done for the uniform pair, and next 3 experiment was done with compound pairs. Okay, when y is positive, so first experiments we have seen with y is equal to 0, then second y is equal to negative, and then y is equal to positive. So this is for y is equal to negative, and top of the footing is above the initial bed level. Now this is again the horizontal velocity vector at different elevations at z minus 50, 50, and 100. Okay, so here you can see that flow is deviating, and this is at plane of 30-degree. This is at plane of 60-degree, 90. This is 120, 150. Okay, so this is for non-uniform pair when our footing is below. And here obviously you can see that this vortex formation or the strength of vortex is less, because here top of the footing is below the initial bed level. So the strength of vortex get diminishes, and also due to that we are getting the less scour depth in comparison to the previous. So here you can see that if you go with this, the depth of scour is here. Just wait. Here at this plane same, the depth of scour is here. What? This is the depth of scour from the initial bed. So this is more when we compare with this. So all this data has been analyzed. Now this is the total projection if we work only at the top of the at the bed level. So this is the horizontal projections or horizontal vectors plotted at bed level. Means all data, all 4 experiments has been tried to get explained that how flow is deviating in all 4 cases when we try to take the get the horizontal vectors in plane at z is equal to 0. So all measurement for all the experiments. So this plane has been considered. So you can see that when y is equal to 0 for the uniform pair case, this is the flow separation line. Here you can see that if this is the normal level. Okay, so in this case the area is somehow enlarged, and here when top of the footing is above, so here we are getting more deviation. So flow separation line is here more away from this pair, while when footing is below the bed level, even we are getting the less extent of the this flow separation in compare with this uniform pair. So now this some of this vector analysis data has been incorporated in some of the equations. We have tried to verify the equations. So now the next few slides deals that how we have used this vector analysis data in order to verify the equations and subsequently to modify and upgrade the model of Kotiari et al. In order to compute the temporal variation of the scour depth around the circular uniform pair and the circular bridge pair. So here a lot of studies has been done. So the same here laboratory was used, and in this what we did, now we did some different experiments, and this is the list of experiments which were carried out. And what we did in this, we used 6 compound pair geometries. in which this is the diameter of the pier and this is the diameter of the foundation. Okay, so geometry is what you all know, that this is what we are having. This is B and this is B star. Okay, and so we use 6 different compound pairs and 3 uniform pair. Okay, so this is the ratio of B star and B, and 2 different sediments were used. One is 4 mm and another is 1.8 mm, and footing was placed at 3 different locations. Each time and temporal variation of scour depth was made. So in this we conducted 6 experiments in total, and here 6 experiment was done. So in total 42 experiments were conducted for temporal variation, to get the data of temporal variation of the scour depth. So these are the photographic view of the pier models used. So these are all compound piers here you can see, and these 3 are the uniform pier. Now these are the some geometry of the scour hole, and here you can see that this is for, that is B star, sediment size is 1.8 and depth of scour was is less. Okay, that now in this case what is happening, top of the footing was below the initial bed level. This is when top of the footing was at y is equal to 0, means this level bed is y is equal to 0, and this is again at the same level as this is the bed. Now you can see that extent of scour hole is more with the previous case, and this is when top of the footing is above the bed level. So this top is more what we have observed in this case. Also you can see the extent of scour hole here. Now this is the some representation that how the scour depth at any particular, for any particular experiment is varying with the time. So in all the experiments we have tried to keep the U star C nearly equal to that is done at this level, and all experiments were done in the clear water flow condition. So now some mathematical modeling has been done with the help of the observations of the vector. Okay, so that is what we have just tried to create the algorithm or modified the algorithm of Kothari et al. Of 1992 with for the calculation of the temporal variation with the for the compound pair. So here this effective diameter B is defined on this basis. So here I will not discuss this much more. We can do further exercise on this. So now I am just trying to explain you how we have incorporated the data of the vectors. So I will discuss that. So what is the basic objection while we are go with the theory of the scouring? So what we consider that horseshoe vortex is the prime agent which is causing the scour around the bridge pier. So as you can see that this is the bridge pier and this is the initial bed level, original bed level. This is the angle of repose phi, and this is the principal vortex initially. So before the scour begins at the pier, the principal vortex of the horseshoe vortex system is having the circular in shape. So as the scour hole increases, then what happens here? As the scour hole increases, the vortex sump into the scour hole. Now this is the equation which is having, or which is used by following authors and following researchers. And here what we have, the diameter of vortex can be find out using this relationship. So this is the diameter of the principal vortex of the horseshoe vortex system. So this is the diameter of the vortex, and here these are the equations. The cross-sectional area of the principal vortex AT at any time can be computed with this relationship, and here A0 can be calculated with the help of this diameter of vortex, and this AS is basically what? This is the area of the scour hole, okay, at any time t, which is having this scour depth ds. So now what we are having, if this is the initial bed level, then what we are having, this is the area of a scour hole. So this area AS can be computed with this relationship, where this is the angle phi, which is the angle of repose. So with this relationship, we can find out the cross-sectional area of the principal vortex at any time t. So initially what will happen when the scouring is in the initial phase, the scour hole has a less area, and as the time elapses, flow continues, there is a development of the scour hole. So this is what we have AT. Okay, so now this AT is summation of A0 and AS, and this dV is the initially diameter of the principal vortex of the horseshoe vortex system. Okay, now here what we have done with the help of our 4 experiments, we have tried to compute the area of the principal vortex. So this is basically what? This is our measurement at the plane of alpha degree for the uniform pair. So for all 4 cases, this is the 4 cases, first, second, this is third case, and this is 4 cases. So now in this, what we have tried to do, the observed size of principal of vortex. So this is basically what is the principal vortex. So observed size of principal vortex is determined with the help of this vector diagram. And what we have done in this, and what we have considered here, the velocity vector. Here you can see these are the velocity vectors, different velocity vectors. So velocity vectors down, bending downward and having the clockwise from the horizontal, and having the inclination 10 degree, greater than 10 degree with the horizontal, are included inside the upper periphery as shown by the, so this is basically the representation. This is basically the representation. So what we have done in the principal vortex, what we have tried, so we have observed all the vector area which is having inclination more than 10 degree from the horizontal plane. If this is the horizontal plane, so all the vectors which are having angle more than 10 degree has been included in the outer periphery, has been included in the upper, has been included inside the periphery of the principal vortex. And on the basis of that, what we have done, we have find out the AT observed. Okay, so AT observed has been made on the basis of this graph, vector graph. Okay, then second, so for the case this two also, here you can see that this principal vortex is having the less area, and as foundation is below, this is, and so these 4 are the cases. So for all these 4 cases, we have tried to get the area of the principal vortex. Now this is what is computation of the cross-sectional area. So on the basis of that, what we have tried to do, we have tried to verify this equation. Okay, so this equation which was given by this Kothari et al., that equation was on the basis of that mathematical observation. So this has been verified. So observation of AT was made with the help of vector analysis, while the AT computed was made with the help of this data. Okay, so first we find out A naught, then AS was find out the depth of scour at time t. So here you can see that for any particular experiments we have depth of scour DST at any time. So this is the time. So this experiment was made for a period of 7 hours. So for a period of 7 hours, we have this DST. Okay, so we put the value of this DST in this equation and then we find out this AT computed. So we have now AT computed. We have now the area of the observed AT. So on the basis of that, and also, so this is what we have for data from our computed as the previous as the method I have explained you. So this is what we have tried to do. We have tried to draw the graph between the AT observed. This is what we have. This is the AT observed from the vector graph. From all these three authors, we are also having the vector graph. So we captured the data from their manuscripts. And this was the AT computed from the formula. So what we observed that we are getting a good agreement between the AT computed and AT observed. So that data was so this equation further utilized for the development, and this was verified in this way. Similarly, we have also verified the another equation, which is the computation of the shear stress at any time t. So in this also we utilize this graph. Okay, so now we have tried to develop the algorithm with all these equations, and I am going to the end now. What we have, so this is the algorithm for calculation of the temporal variation of the depth around the circular compound pier. So this can also be utilized for the uniform pier and as well as for the compound pier for all the three cases, when footing is below the bed level, when footing is above the bed level. So it needs one more session to explain all these mathematical things. So I'm not going to detail in this, but albeit I have explained you how we have analyzed this vectors and how we have incorporated to verify the two equations here. This is the equations which is utilized and which is verified with the help of data. Okay, so this is the algorithm and some modeling results here. So these are the results which has been shown here. This is the computed with the algorithm, and these are the observed values. So we are finding a very good agreement with our data. And this is the next figure where the present study data has been shown with the observed and computed values. Now this is the data of Melville and Radkevi on the circular compound bridge piers. So we have also tried to verify how much our equation is calculating, our algorithm is calculating the details. Now what we have, our observations, these are our observations with the observed and computed discovered depth around the circular compound bridge pier. So this is the in this the data of the author and data of Melville and Radkevi and Liu et al. Were used, and what we found that our computed and observed discovered depth is within the range of 25%. Now there is a field applications. We have tried to create some explanation with the example of data. So this is basically a definition sketch of the design examples. So here what we have shown the pier 1 and pier 2 here, and this is the exposure of the footing at a distance of 1 meter, which is having a exposure of 1 meter. This is the total depth of water here, and this is the floodplain here with depth of water h is 0.14, and footing here not exposed having 0.4 meter down. Sediment size in the river is 2 millimeter, and the mean velocity in the main channel is 1 meter and other is 0.34. So with the help of algorithm, we have tried to find out the discovered depth So when we run this data with the size of pier, B, size of foundation, then where it is placed, it is negative, then flow depth, then we are getting that the depth of scour is equilibrium scour depth is 2.64 meter, and the time of equilibrium it will take is 4.24 meter for the pier 1, and for the pier 2 this will be 1.24 day. Okay, so in 1.24 days we will reach the equilibrium scour depth of 0.4 meter. Now these are the references again for the further reading. You can also contact me if further discussions are required. So thanks for the patience listening. And now I
Thank you, sir.
welcome.
Thank you much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So if
Thank you, sir.
participants, if
Thank
you
you,
are
sir.
having any doubt, then you can ask.
So if any queries and if you want any further discussions later on after this FDP, I welcome all of you. You can take my, you can note down just 980-588-4286. I am available. You can contact, you can message me. You can message me through WhatsApp also. So it will be great pleasure for me if I could help you in your research area, if you are working in that area.
Participants, I think you have learned a lot, okay, in today's session in detail. So if you have any question, then you can ask. Otherwise, we will have a lunch break. Any question? So, on behalf of Civil Engineering Department, LD College of Engineering, Ahmedabad, I would like to thank Dr. Ashish Kumar sir for giving such a wonderful talk on vector analysis of flow pattern during scouring around the pier. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Professor Saab. Thanks once again the entire team of this FTP, especially Dr. R.K. Jain and also the other members, Professor Sudhanshu Dixit ji and Professor Utkarsh Nigam ji, and also I am thankful to entire fraternity of and entire administration system of your college that they provided me this opportunity, and also I am thankful to the AICT also that they provided this such a wonderful platform in order to disseminate the knowledge entire all the country, and in fact all over the world. So once again thanks, and I'm also thankful to our university, that is JP University, that they give me this opportunity so that I could serve the nation and I could serve the academic fraternity and students with my knowledge what I have. So with these words, thanks to all of you.
Yes, Rajesh sir is also there.
Yes, yes. Dr. Ashish, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
For
I'm very grateful to you that you provided me this opportunity.
Sir,
No, we are also thankful to accepting this our invitation, because very few people are there who can talk about this subject which we have posted in Atal FDP. So, and you are one of them as per our network is concerned.
Yes, yes.
So I am also thankful for delivering 2 sessions in this FDP. and I hope that you will continue delivering in future too.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
Hello, sir.
Any questions from audience? Lakshman wants to ask something.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
No, sir.
Yes. No. Okay.
Sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Nirav is
Sir,
there.
Sir, can you please provide us with the papers that you have extensively used with the presentation so we can read it from the paper too?
Pardon, I could not listen you clearly.
Sir, can you please provide us with the research papers that you have used for this
You
presentation?
you just mail me. I will provide you. Okay.
Sir, can you please provide it to the coordinator Sudhanshu sir or?
Yeah. I will give to Professor Artijan. Okay.
We have this WhatsApp group, so sir, and they would mail to us, sir. Thank you very much, sir. The session was very informative.
Thank you all. Okay. Should I leave? Okay, I am leaving now.
So now we are going to close this session and we will meet again at sharp 1:30. Okay, for the next session by Dr. B. Ramesh sir. He is the principal at Sivtha School of Engineering, Chennai, and he has very nice exposure of the near bed particle motion sediment laden flow with the I think he is going to demonstrate you the techniques of photographic images, how we can able to capture the turbulence with the help of some advanced instruments by capturing images. Okay, so we will meet at sharp 1:30. Thank you all.
Sudhanshu.
Yes, sir.
Sudhanshu. There was a call from Dr. Ramesh, and
yes, sir,
he would be starting at 2. Yes, he would be starting at 2 p.m.
Okay.
So accordingly, you announce to the participants. The next session will start from 2 p.m.
Okay, so as per the convenience of the speaker, I think he is busy. Actually, there is one meeting, so he might be joining to us at 2 p.m. So I will convey in the groups also, WhatsApp group. So don't worry.
Yes.
Okay, either it will be 1:30 or 2. I will communicate. So thank you all.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So you can have a long break rather than 1 hour and 15 minutes, and then by refreshing yourself, you can join at 2 p.m. sharp.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.